of his interviews. Because I watch, one of my favorite shows I watch is Real Time with Bill Maher. He always a guest on it, and they always kill it.
So, all right, let's go down here. So, you got Eddie Murphy as
number one. Mm-hmm.
You got...
Martin,
too. Okay, can't argue with that. And then 3 was who?
Who was 3 again? I said Martin. Dave Chapelle.
Yeah, all right, definitely can't argue with that. And then you said...
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock and Harry's.
Yeah, after 3, you lost me. I was with you all the way up to 3.
Harry, you gotta watch his stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to now. Like, you gonna have me doing homework on Harry Spears.
Harry Spears is very talented. Y'all never watched Mad TV?
I did. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember the Shaq skits and I remember different stuff that he did, but I never remember like busting out laughing. Like I never had like a ha moment with him.
He's not a top comedian to me, but he's hilarious. Marlon Wayans. Like, I don't think his stand-up is...
I think some stuff... His stand-up is horrible.
It's like...
But
his acting and his interviews, I be on the floor.
Yeah, like this motherfucker. I think he's more of like a natural guy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's more of a conversationalist.
Like, Haunted House was funny to me. And then 50 Shades of Black.
I think they were before their time.
They definitely, the whole family.
Like with their writing. Like that, if
their father was a writer too.
Don't Be a Menace While I Drink. If that joint would have came out 10 years later, that joint would still be classic today. Like it would have been a blockbuster hit. That joint.
It is.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is still funny. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's my top favorite comedy movie actually.
All right, Scar. So
especially when they take the chain.
Your top 5 comedians. What you got?
Just top 5.
Eddie Murphy, Martin, Richard Pryor. And I said, like, and I'm not saying Eddie Murphy is my number 1.
Right.
I like Richard Pryor a lot.
I do too.
Right.
Because it seemed like to me that every comedian had to get something from somewhere.
Right.
I think Eddie Murphy got a lot of his stuff.
He'll tell you. It's not even a question.
So it's like all that different character. Eddie Murphy did it better.
Yeah, he took it to the next level.
I've been
Richard Pryor.
Eddie Murphy since he was on records. Because my dad used to didn't care. My parents was the type like they ain't give a fuck what we listen to or what we watch. So I've been like what I'm telling you, I know Boogie in Your Butt. I know all his stuff. I go way back with Eddie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, think about it. Did Richard Pryor have an album singing? You gotta think about it.
It's not comedy.
That's like Boogie in Your Butt. Put an elephant in your butt. That's funny. He's like, I put a big cat in your ass. It's like, that is funny. You crazy. Did y'all ever hear Boogie in Your Butt? I don't know how he even came up with that.
But it's not, listen, the thing is.
Boogie in your butt, but that's funny. That is funny. I can still listen to that crack the fuck. Y'all
But if somebody say that right now, you wouldn't think it was funny.
Yes, I would.
What?
Yes, I would.
No, let's go right here.
Yes, I would. That is funny.
I think when I watched, all right, what was the first one that he did? Was it Delirious or
Stand Up?
Yeah,
Delirious.
it was Delirious.
When he had the red leather suit.
And then the other one was Raw, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when I went back and watched them, I think that Delirious still made me crack the fuck up. But I think Raw was like, I remember moments and it was like, you know, it was funny from before, but it was like how we was talking about rappers earlier, like where some lyrics you'd be like, damn, that shit's still hot. Like Delirious for me was like still hot. I was like, damn, that shit still to this day is fucking funny. Yeah. Raw was kind of like different for me. I was like, it's still Raw funny, but it wasn't like.
But that's how Martin Lawrence was. Like his first "You So Crazy" was crazy. Yeah. But then Run Tell That, it was like you laughed. It was like. But you don't have to watch that again.
Martin, man.
Yeah, I know. Let me say this.
I'm so mad that he not like himself no more.
Because he got
that nigga's hilarious.
But Raw to me, why it's funnier than Delirious is because it's a blueprint. Think about it. He talk about you catching a woman in the bed, like wasn't me. You're like, I see a look right in your face. I wasn't me. You weren't supposed to be poor. I've seen women do it. Well, maybe it wasn't him. I'm like,
I think you know what it was.
And then when he was like, you talking about the marriage, he was like, you gonna break back? He's like, you can't let him mingle with American women.
Oh yeah.
He's like, they gonna be like, I'm an American woman now. You know what I'm saying? It was the blueprint for everything. He was like, then you send your woman off to get fucked because you ain't been treating her right, and she come back like, shut. That's a blueprint for everything. I'm telling you, it's just
I think for me what it was, it's like listening to music. So when I went back and I listened to Delirious, even though the jokes was old, they were still fucking relevant.
Funny. Yeah, they are.
That day that I was watching them.
Okay.
Raw was more of it's like that hit that was your shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But if you listen to it now, it sounds dated.
It was
like that's what it was for me. It was like
It
was like a lot of the material seemed kind of dated. Where in that year that I watched it was fucking funny as hell because this is something that just happened or it was on the news. But like 20 years later, it was like. It was still funny, but it wasn't as relevant. So I think, like I said, it's like listen to
What's your favorite line in Delirious? Because I just think Raw is funny, but I just
in Delirious.
Yeah, I can tell you my favorite line, but it's
so
not.
Many
I just
fucking
think
lines in Delirious. I don't know. Like I think like one of the most memorable moments. Not to say it was the funniest, but was the ice cream skit. Like
of course.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I say Delirious because. It don't matter what year you tell that joke. The fucking ice cream skit is going to be funny in 2045. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because the shit is just relevant. No matter what time period, what era, that shit's just, I just thought, and it still was funny, but I just thought Raw was like, it had more dated materials like that was funny when I watched it the first time.
I think Raw is better. But my favorite line though in Delirious is when the Aunt Honey fall down the steps.
Oh yeah.
He's like, and then the father's like, why you keep bringing this big bitch to my house? Shit funny, you're not.
I'm bunny.
She's like, he's like, oh Jesus Lord,
my shoe.
and then Murphy said, what was it? In the part where he said they was like, kiss your Aunt Bunny because she had the big mustache. And he was like, kiss it. Mom threw the shoe. That's funny. But I just think Raw is funnier.
But that's all I'm saying. Like those moments, they'll never play out. You know what I'm saying? Like those. Yeah. Everybody got a fucking ugly aunt, or somebody that's she's fat or something where you're not really proud of this aunt. Mm-hmm. So that's always going to be funny. Everybody's been through the fucking ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
I aunt with a mustache and I start crying too. Like,
everybody been there. That's what I'm saying. Like Delirious for me is just like that's the ultimate stand-up.
Like, you gotta see her coming like.
I'm not like now. She gonna ask for some sugar.
With an aunt with the stinking ass breath.
She's like, oh Lord.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But I think Raw, it's just the blueprint. Even when I know it's a sensitive area we in, but even when he talk about the faggots, that's funny. He like, woo!
Yeah.
That's all over.
He's like, you gotta right to remain silent. That is funny. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
That was hilarious.
It is funny.
That was definitely a moment.
The fight he got in was funny.
Oh my God. Danny Terrio.
Yeah.
Wow. What you doing in the car?
Was that the one his pop said? You live all bit. Nothing from nothing. Leave nothing. Got to do something. Motherfucker punch you in the lip.
What you doing in the club with Jimmy Walker? He said, you got hit in your lip and you look like Jimmy Walker. Yeah,
so that's because you broke my leg long time ago. Parents say
yeah, that's hilarious. All right, did you get?
I got Eddie, Martin, Richard, Dave Chapelle, and I'm going with Bernie.
Okay. What's your when you say what's your Bernie Mark favorite line? You gotta say something. I can off the top of 5. I can tell you what I like about him.
My it ain't like he said is a moment when he was talking about them little kids and the girl was sending the faggot boy downstairs to get cookies and milk.
Him downstairs.
He said, well, "Who the fuck is him?"
Who is him?
He said, "You gonna look at me like I'm short or something?"
And he said she gonna bring her little ass down here. Like, what you doing?
Yo, and that I think like what you were saying about Dave Chapelle is the reason why I love Bernie Mac, because he say shit that you just not supposed to say.
And he gonna tell you that. He
like how you gonna call that little boy?
You scared to say it, but I'm gonna say it. You can't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Like he gonna let you know.
You hit him in the stomach.
That's right. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing from Kevin because like I actually when some people say he's not funny, I don't know if it's from Philly. I don't know what it is. He's okay. I'm just saying he's not my type of stand-up that I'm here. Right. His stand-up to me, maybe his first one was funny.
Some funny ones.
All right, the funniest thing he ever said is when the mom sent him to school to cuss.
Oh,
after that, I can't remember. That was funny.
No, but you can't. And then with the pop coming in there with the sweatpants.
That was funny.
Remember his pop got in the fight?
Yeah, he got beat up. Yeah.
The motherfuckers jumping.
He's like, he ain't got
He said, well, if it was, boy, that motherfucker must have been an octopus.
Right.
No, he's definitely funny, man.
It's okay.
No, he had some funny stand-ups.
I think that's the funniest thing he ever said is when he was like, he went to school the next day.